Hi everyone, GWFawkes here. This is the Model Gaming Show. It is March 1st, 2018, and got a good show for you tonight. A few interesting topics that happened this week that I want to discuss. First, let's get into the new releases. First, we have Moss for the PlayStation VR. OpenCritic has it at an 83% or 83 out of 100. And from the reviews that I've read, it's all been very positive stuff. Even the less positive reviews, the 70s, 75s, still say it's worth it, and it's quite an achievement in VR and one of the highlights of PlayStation VR for the PlayStation. The next is Into the Breach. It's the same development studio that brought Faster Than Light, which is a game that came out for the PC a couple years back, and it looks like a very interesting game. It's at a 92 after 13 reviews on OpenCritic, which is pretty great. I know it's a PC game. It's a little small tactical game where you have like a little grid that you're on, and you have to play defense and win in it. It looks difficult, mind you. I think I'm going to give it a try either this week or next week, but I'm interested, and it definitely looks like something different, out of the norm than what we're used to. I guess there is another new release, but it's been so lambasted that I just want to mention it and talk more about the release than the actual game coming out, and that's Chrono Trigger for the PC. Square just decided to drop it on us and release it, and of course the nostalgia kicked in. Everybody went, oh my god, it's Chrono Trigger, one of the, if not the one of the greatest RPGs ever made, and everyone was so happy, and they went and they bought it, and then they went home and they played it and realized it was a port of the mobile version. So not even an emulation or a port of the SNES, it was a port of the mobile version, where the how do you put this, like some of the tiles weren't matching up, and it basically looks bad. Now, you know, I've been reading a lot about this and looking at screenshots, and I get the nitpicks, but at the same time, this is Square's MO. Look at all the ports that they've done. Do you think they put any amount of effort into any of these? Even their remasters. Final Fantasy XII was the first remaster that I feel like they've done that was great. Even 10 and 10.2, from what I've seen and what I've read from reviews, is just like good, not great. These are classic games, and Square doesn't, frankly, give a crap. They're just going to spit these out, make the cash, and be done with it. They're not going to put in any extra effort. Just know that. This is Square we're talking about. This is a huge company. They don't care about taking the time to release a game like this for the fans and redoing it. Now, I'm sure shortly, within a month or two, there will be mods for the game, and someone will come and redo the art and all this other stuff, just like has been done for some of the Final Fantasies. And I wholly recommend that people wait on it and see once the mods come out to explore Chrono Trigger again, because it really is a fantastic game. First time I ever played it was on the Wii, when it was released on the Virtual Console for the Wii, and gosh, we'll just say that's like 2012 or something like that. And it was fantastic even back then. It's a masterpiece. It really is. It's great storytelling. 13 different endings, if I recall, which even for now, that's fantastic. So it's definitely worth playing, but I think the definitive version right now is the DS or 3DS version. So check it out if you've got that. If you've got a Wii still floating around and you can get it, I don't know if it's still available. Definitely get it that way. But for right now, this isn't the best version to have. Getting into one main topic here before our other main topics. Super Mario Odyssey just had their balloon mode released, and I haven't touched it. I have Super Mario Odyssey. I've got my fill out of that game. I've got 680 moons or something like that. And while I didn't beat the final level, the boss rush level where you just basically have to beat all the bosses again in a row, I've had my fill. It's an excellent game. They just released a new mode. Really not anything from what I've seen it's going to get me to go back. But they've said that Mario could get more DLC. I think they want to continue to mine Odyssey. I really hope they make I hope they follow in their footsteps with Galaxy and they make a Super Mario Odyssey 2. I hope that they go that route. I really enjoyed Odyssey. I think it could use less moons, actually. I think I don't know how many you can buy. I think you can buy a total of like 100 moons or 120. But I think a better number would be to shoot for 500 or 400 moons. I always believe quality over quantity, and some of the moons, while easy and allowing you to progress to later levels, I feel like it's more challenging and rewarding having better moons and having more crafted. I did like the open world element of it. I liked how each world you went to was kind of a persistent little capsule, which was great. But at the same time, so many moons you could just walk up to, and that's not really engaging. That's just kind of, okay, we're just going to throw 5 moons in each level that you can just get without hassle. Am I glad to hear that they're making more Mario DLC? Yeah, absolutely. It's great, and maybe it'll entice me to go back to my Switch and play it when it comes out. But at the same time, for right now, it is just okay. The new mode is fine. It's fun, but it's not substantial, and I would rather they concentrate more on Mario Odyssey 2 or the next one than to continue making DLC for this. So first pseudo big story of the day is you had some devs currently working for CD Projekt Red. They worked on all the Witcher games. That's what they're known for. Most notably The Witcher 3. I've played all 3 in the series, and they're all really fun. The Witcher is rough in spots, for sure. Witcher 2 is just a really solid game. They actually are... That was just announced, or not just announced. I just watched a video today of The Witcher 2 running on an Xbox One, and damn, that game looks good. I didn't realize it was looking that good. I played it on my gaming PC, and it looked good then, but I think the Xbox One, my gaming laptop, I think the Xbox One looks better. It just looks clean and really crisp. It's amazing what that's doing just by upscaling. It's like remastering the game. It's kind of crazy. But CD Projekt Red, a developer working on it, basically for CD Projekt Red, working on Cyberpunk 2077. That's their new huge game. Came out and just started speaking hyperbole, right? Granted, we know nothing about this game. It's already been several years in development. They just did a tweet for the first time in like 3 years that just says beep, and I think it's just to keep the account active. I'm not joking. And he came out and he said, we are making Cyberpunk 2077 the first entry into a blockbuster franchise. It is The Witcher, but bigger, better. It is a hardcore RPG for hardcore RPG players, whatever. I think there was some translation definitely lost in that. But that's really exciting to me, especially with the loss of one of my, if not my favorite current franchises in Mass Effect. And while I really liked Andromeda, I was hoping that it would continue. I'm hoping for something more, but that doesn't look like it's going to happen. So now my only hope for big operatic RPG space opera is this game. Again, nothing on it. I don't think it's coming out this year. maybe it's coming out next year. Who the hell knows at this point? There's been nothing. We know that they've been working on it for a couple of years now. The Witcher came out in, 2016? Oh man, I'm not sure because the DLCs are messing with me right now. We'll call it 2015 is when it came out, and then the DLCs released in 2016 and 2017. Ah, dang. Don't hold me to those dates. But The Witcher 3 was such a great, fantastic world and game that there's a lot of hype building, and there's a lot to live up to, frankly. And I'm excited. It makes me excited for something that I get to wait for something like this. I just hope there's more information. I hope they do what Bethesda did with Fallout, is announce it, show off gameplay footage and everything, and then release it 6 months later. I hope that they announce it at like an E3 and release it that November or something like that. I think, or December, or at the very least, they released Witcher 3, I think, in May. So maybe do that schedule, release it in May before E3 happens and just blow everyone away. So again, something to look forward to. The final thing I want to talk about is Nintendoing, right? Nintendo being Nintendo. Last week, they allowed users to put up review scores of games. That lasted all of 5 days before they took it down and said, oh yeah, it was just an experimental thing. We were just testing it out. We don't know if we're going to implement it. Now, to be clear, these reviews made the games look, in my opinion, better than some of them were. It made them look better than they, I think, naturally would be, just in the way that you could review it. But for them to pull it so quickly is really interesting, especially when you retroactively. I hate how companies are doing this now. They're implementing something, getting caught or getting mistaken, and then going, oh yeah, we realize that's just a mistake. You know, we're just gonna take that down, just a test run. Everything can't be a test run. If it was a test run, you wouldn't have released it wide to the public, okay? That's not a test run. A beta would be a select group. That's releasing it, effing up, and then just saying it's a test run. You can't keep doing that. But what's very interesting is, at least for me, still showing how behind Nintendo is on all this. Reviews for their games are, especially all their mainline games, are great, and I think it's a cool thing if you go on the eShop and pull up a game and get to see user reviews and why. Yeah, you got to take the positive with the negative, but for them to just completely dash it right off, I don't get that. I don't think I ever will. It's a weird move. It's really strange. It's not out of Nintendo's wheelhouse. You know, they're used to doing strange moves like that. But at the same time, I feel like this was a really positive step. It was a good step towards engaging with the community, and it was something that I think people wanted. And for them to just immediately remove it is odd. It's odd to say the least. I wish they would have kept it. I think it's a feature that, you know, is on both PS4 and Xbox and PC, whatever, you know, client you're using. But it's always a good thing to have user reviews posted. Just say I'm buying something on Amazon, right? You always got to discount the outliers, right? The 5s and the 1s, I don't really care about. I'm really looking at the 3s and the 4s. What made it be 1 star less than the best? What made it be 2 stars less than the best? That's what I want to know. I want to see criticism, because criticism helps you identify what you dislike and like about something that you're buying. And so you can identify, oh, well, this person didn't like that feature, but I actually really like that feature, so that's a positive for me, not a negative. And by Nintendo implementing that and then removing it, it's just, I'm gonna use word my dad always said, that's chicken shit, right? That's I don't know why I did a southern accent. He doesn't sound like that. That's a chicken shit move. Just implement it. At the very least, you can make some tweaks while you do it, but just to completely remove it is a little crappy. That's it for this week's show. It's a short one, not much news. Like I said, Into the Breach came out this week. I think I'm going to give that a playthrough tomorrow if I have the time, if I'm up for it, and if I finish Hellblade right now. But yeah, thank you all for watching. This is the Model Gaming Show. I'm GWFawkes. You can find me here no matter what on Mondays and Thursdays, 7:30 p.m. playing games, doing this show, and either Tuesday or Fridays for new releases. I'm going to try and start streaming more consistently. I'm going to try and find a game that I like that's online that I can play with other people. So I'm streaming something at least during the weekdays, maybe pop in on Sunday, try and be more consistent. I'm going to be moving soon, so that's going to throw a wrench in some things shortly, and I'm going to be gone for Easter, again, wrench. So I will be try and be more consistent as the year goes on. It definitely will improve once I move into a different spot. That'll be a more permanent spot than where I've been right now. And just bear with me. Thank you guys for watching. I greatly appreciate it if you catch it now or in the archive on YouTube. And again, check me out on Twitter and Instagram at GWFawkes and twitch.tv/Model Gaming Show. Have a good night.